Hey, it's Vincent Grasso here, and welcome to part 3 of My Visually Impaired Life. So, today on this series, we're going to talk about my steroid treatment process. I'm going to also tell you how much it, cost me after insurance in the end, and I'm going to keep it a lot shorter than the last video. I apologize for the 30-minute long video. I mean, it was so long even YouTube didn't like it and cut off the ending. So, the part that got cut off, by the way, was my MRI process cost. So it cost me about $860 after insurance costs, and that was including an X-ray. Now I wanted to note that that was me going to the hospital and doing it. If you, in any state, I'm pretty sure, call your provider, your insurance provider, or whatever. There is outsourced companies you can go to which are not in the hospital, and you can get an MRI there. It'll cost you probably between $100 to $300, and instead of the 800 and something that cost me. Now prices vary, obviously. I'm not a master at the numbers, but I do know that I could have paid a lot less. But at the time, I was in the heat of the moment. I was freaking out over everything. I just did what the doctor said, and I stayed within their hospital, provide whatever circuit they're in, and I got stuck with a larger bill. But that's just what it is. I mean, that's why I'm making these videos, so that you guys don't make the same mistakes as me. So there are ways to pay a lot less. So don't freak out. I know they're going to tell you you got to do this ASAP, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Well, it takes only a minute to make a phone call. So just call and you can get an appointment outsourced and pay a lot less money. So, all right, moving on. So this video isn't 30 minutes long. I just wanted to let you know my steroid process. And a little disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I am not telling you not to do the treatments, as I'm going to tell you how I didn't like it. But, I mean, there could be... The numbers speak more than an art major would, okay? I am not a doctor, nor did I go to school for it. I did not do the science in it, and the science speaks. So, steroids obviously work. I have friends that have immune diseases, which the only thing that helps them is steroids treatment. But I did the steroids for my eye because when you get optic neuritis, that's what they do. They're going to tell you, regardless, I don't care who you are, if you got optic neuritis, they're going to offer you to take steroids to take the swelling down. And I highly recommend you do what your doctor tells you, because maybe the fact that it didn't work for me is only because I did it too late in the game. So my eye was probably already too far gone that the steroids probably did help, and I didn't realize it because my eye just went where it went at. My left eye, I didn't take the steroids, and it turned out better than my right eye, but that could have just been because that's just how it was going to be to begin with. So, moving on, what happens is the doctor recommended, I still have one eye, good, I can see fine. He recommends that, he tells me I have multiple sclerosis, sends me packing, tells me to look up Mayo Clinic, but to get steroid treatments on top of that for the optic neuritis. And so I do what he tells me, and I go there, and you go to a hospital or wherever, and it's a really simple process. They ask you to go in a room, fill out some paperwork, and then they get a room set up for you, and then they put an IV in you with a saline liquid with steroids in it. And they inject you for 4 times. It was 4 times for me, and 4 days, separate days. And it takes about 3 hours to 3.5 hours to get all the liquids in you, the whole bag. And depending on what the drop is, obviously. I did not get nauseous for me. I did not feel any side effects at the time I was taking the treatment. I felt fine. I just felt ice cold in my arm, and that was about it. And I'm not afraid of needles, so I wasn't really worried about that. Then I watched television. I watched sci-fi or whatever they had on their TV. And I left and went to work. Now, after the steroid treatment, I would go to work. So I was 45 minutes away from the treatments center. So by the time I got to work, I would start having side effects. But usually with the saline drip, only side effect I had that I knew about at the time was joint stiffness. I had a lot of joint stiffness. Now you got to remember, this doctor tells me I have multiple sclerosis. So I'm thinking, I'm at home now, I'm looking up, Googling and YouTubing multiple sclerosis, and I start realizing that I have all these symptoms starting. Not realizing that before I took the treatments, I didn't have any symptoms. So, I totally pushed all that aside because fear took over my mind and said, "Oh, you're having this symptom today, so you must have had this for a long time." And you just tend to forget that you were a healthy guy before all this. I had a gray speck in my vision, yes, but I felt fine. I just went to the eye doctor for a regular checkup. So I get through the 4 bags of saline and steroids, and then they put me on 20 days of prednisone steroids. And I was pretty sure I remember there were 60 milligrams a pill, and I was taking 2 every morning. And I just, maybe it was 3. No, it was 2. But information I tried to push out of my mind because I really just didn't care at the time. But I got through it. I fought myself through it. I didn't want to take it every day. I didn't want to take it because I was having all these crazy side effects. I remember going to work and walking up the stairs and my knees locked up on me, which I've stated this numerous times. That was like the worst thing. And we had LED lights, really bright LED lights. It's a big factory. And I would look one way across the room, the other way across the room, and I'd see these big rays of light coming off, auras of light coming off the lights. And it freaked me out because I thought something was wrong with my brain, or I was having a stroke or this and that. But then I started really believing I had MS because I was having every known symptom. Plus, not just the steroids, your brain will play tricks on you too, and you're going to start noticing things because you're super aware of your body, and you're going to freak out thinking that everything is a problem. And it's not the case. You just need to relax. My buddy Steve at my work, he has multiple sclerosis, and he told me, you laugh at me literally. He's like, you need to relax. You're too paranoid. You're just it's in your head mostly. You just let it ride. You're sending out vibes that you're worse. And he was right. I was totally. But every day I'd annoy him and I'd ask him questions. But you'll hear about that in the next video. And I got through those, but I would have other problems. Like I had emotionally, I would be super ultra sensitive. Like I would want to cry over watching cartoons with my daughter. I'd be like, Rainbow Bright. I mean, that's our era, 80s. But anyway, I'd be like, the rainbow's so pretty. It was just the weirdest thing. And I knew it was the steroids because I was not normally like this. And after, I would say about a week after the steroids, I did the 20 days. I didn't wean off. I was almost going to wean myself off, but I didn't. I said, I'm just going to take them like the doctor told me to. And it was a nightmare. So I wish I had weaned myself off because it probably would have been less of a hassle. But long story short, people, I felt perfectly normal. $100 again after like a week and a half. And I realized the steroids were the reason I was feeling all these things. I went from realizing I was having all these side effects and I was thinking it was not side effects. I was thinking it was multiple sclerosis, and it wasn't. Then by this time, I was finished those. I saw my primary doctor. He didn't think there was lesions. And then I ended up making an appointment, which was like a month or 2 after that, or maybe a month and a half after that, where I got the actual, no, you do not have multiple sclerosis. There's no lesions. Okay. So your mind is going to play a lot of tricks on you. Just know this. You got to get through that. Don't let your fear control you. That was the whole point of all these videos, is thinking I was going to die. You're going to be the same way as me. I know you are. You're going to think the worst of the worst, and you just need to let it ride. Whether you get worse or not, you're still, at the end of the day, you're here. You're still existing. You're still waking up every morning and you're breathing. Okay? That in itself is a gift. Okay? You get to be here with your family, and you got to cherish every moment. So don't let the fear take you over, because it's only going to make your process, if it does get worse, quick. Because your body, you make yourself sick. I've learned you can make yourself sick. My sister passed away at a young age. My brother passed away recently, last Thanksgiving, and at a young age. My sister was 41, my brother was 44. And I'm 36. And just a lot of emotions go through. When my sister died, I got ill. Like I literally got sick. Like I felt sick. I almost couldn't make it to the funeral. And because your mind will control you. You like literally will shut down through stress and fear. Remember this. And you're only going to make yourself worse. Just think positive, and everything will be positive, I promise. But, I mean, everybody's situation is different. Everyone's story is different. I just hope that my videos help you. So, that's it for this video. Next video will be about me losing my sight in my other eye and going through the process of working between that. So, there's like a gap from now of about 5-6 months. So, that I had one eye and I worked every day, overtime, all that stuff. We'll talk about that. So I hope you liked the video. I have another video I'm throwing in today. Do not make fun of me when you see that video. I'm not going to get into it, but I'll just let you guys watch and view for yourself. Thank you so much for the comments. You guys have been absolutely amazing. You are not just viewers, you are my friends. And this is therapy for all of us, okay? See you later.